Think about the last time you made a real friend. Not someone you follow online, not a work contact, an actual friend. Someone you'd call at 2 a.m. Someone who'd cancel their plans for you. How did that happen? If you trace it back, it probably started with a series of small moments. A conversation that went longer than expected. Shared laughter at something that wasn't even that funny. A moment where one of you said something honest and the other didn't flinch. We make friends through words. It's almost the only way we know how. But for the first 200,000 years of human existence, there were no words. And somehow, those humans had friends too. In the 1990s, a British anthropologist named Robin Dunbar noticed something strange. Across primate species, the size of the social group correlated almost perfectly with the size of the neocortex. Bigger brain, bigger social network. But there was a ceiling. The reason? Primates bond through grooming. Physical contact, long and unhurried. It sounds basic. It isn't. Grooming releases endorphins and oxytocin, the same chemicals behind trust and attachment. When two chimps groom each other, their heart rates drop, their stress hormones fall. It's not cleaning, it's a chemical transaction, and it takes time. Chimps spend up to 20% of their waking hours doing it. You can only touch one animal at a time. Here's where it stops making sense. Dunbar calculated that humans should maintain around 150 stable relationships, but grooming your way to 150 is mathematically impossible. You'd run out of hours. So how did we solve it? Language.
Dunbar's argument, still debated, is that language evolved not primarily to share information, but to socialize, to gossip, to bond with multiple people at once instead of just one. Think about what happens in a real conversation, where you both laugh at the same thing, where something honest gets said and neither of you flinches. Something in your body shifts. Less alone. That's oxytocin. Language copied what grooming did, then made it faster. But wait, before language, before gossip and story and conversation, what were ancient humans actually doing to become friends? Think about what you do at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep and you text someone just to say you're awake. What you do when you sit next to someone in silence and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. What you do when you laugh at something together and neither of you even remembers what it was. Ancient humans bonded through presence, through repetition, through fire, shared food, and shared danger. Through sitting close enough to feel each other's warmth across a cold night. The mere exposure effect, documented across decades of social psychology research, shows that simply being near someone regularly is enough to generate liking. Not talking, not impressing, just existing in the same space over time without leaving. And they laughed, probably more than we do. Laughter, it turns out, is a grooming behavior. When you laugh with someone, real laughter, the involuntary kind, your body releases endorphins. You're doing chemically what chimps do physically, bonding, without a single word. Which means some of the oldest social behaviors you have, you still use. Every time you laugh with someone and can't explain why it's funny. Every time silence with the right person feels like enough. That's not a coincidence. That's 200,000 years of wiring that language never fully replaced. Here's the uncomfortable reframe. We've been thinking about friendship as something you build through conversation, through communication, through the right words at the right time. But that's not what any of this points to. Friendship isn't built through communication. It's built through synchronized existence, through being in the same place at the same time repeatedly, not because you planned it, but because your lives naturally overlapped. Talking was never the mechanism. It was just the excuse to keep showing up. So why are we lonelier than ever? We have more language than any humans in history. More words, more channels, more ways to reach people. The average person sends thousands of messages a year to dozens of contacts across multiple platforms. And still Studies consistently find that rates of loneliness in developed countries have been rising for decades. One large survey found nearly half of American adults report feeling lonely often or always. Similar numbers have appeared across the UK, Australia, and parts of Asia. We got better at language, and somewhere in the process, we forgot everything else. Ancient friendship was built on presence, on physical proximity, on the slow accumulation of time spent in the same place doing nothing in particular. Not memorable moments, ordinary ones. A shared meal, a shared walk, a fire that needed tending. That's what the research on bonding consistently shows actually works. Language was supposed to make connection easier. And in some ways, it did. But it also gave us the ability to maintain the illusion of connection without the thing that creates it. You don't need a study to feel that. You already know it. The friend you message every day but haven't actually seen in months. The loneliness that shows up in a crowded room. The hollow feeling after an hour on your phone, ending up somehow more alone than when you started. The earliest evidence of friendship in the archaeological record isn't a letter. It's two skeletons buried side by side, facing each other. No grave goods, no explanation. Just the evidence that someone made sure they wouldn't be alone, even at the end. No words, just proximity. Just the oldest decision a human can make. I want to be near you. We've been trying to replace that with language for 200,000 years. It's still not working.